What's up, everybody? It's Mike from Everything Is Earned here. And Tim. Tim's also here.
What's up, everyone?
We're back. We're excited. Things are happening. And we're only, 72 days away? 73? Something like that from football season. Officially, 76 days from Browns football. So
season opener.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting
Tennessee
close.
Titans.
Things are happening. The Indians are looking like a real baseball team.
Yeah,
they've been winning some games.
The bats have been boating out.
Yeah,
finally.
They started hitting baseballs. Yeah,
baseball. Baseball. That's what they hit.
That's what they hit.
That's good.
That's what the Indians hit. So the Indians are playing better. The Cavs had a draft. Overall, things are looking up here in the Cleveland summer sports scene, and we got some stuff to talk about. So we'll start with these Cavaliers real quick. So they did hire a woman assistant coach, which is apparently news because she's not a male.
Well, that was typically what a female is. But it's history because they're obviously assistant women's head coaches in the NBA. But why it's special is if she's the first. What's her name?
She's the second one. Lindsay Gottlieb.
She's the first.
No, second.
She's the first female to come over from a college program in women's basketball to come over to the NBA to be recruited and hired.
But the Spurs have a woman assistant.
Yeah, there's plenty of them. There's a few out there.
Yeah, okay.
I'm saying she's the first one to come from...
There's plenty of them. There's multitudes of women just running around.
There's multitudes of females just running around.
on coaching staffs in the NBA. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Oh, that's fine. Whatever.
But yes, first female to come from a women's college coaching program over to the NBA.
Right. You're right on that. I like it. Honestly, if you're good at your job, you're good at your job.
Regardless of gender or animal, creature, whatever. If you're doing your job, I don't care. You're doing your job.
Yeah, if you're a gecko and that knows how to run an offense, I'm down with it. It's fine. Bring them on board. So I'm cool with that. I like the hire. You're good at your job. But John Beilein is all gushing about her. So good things so far, and it matches up with what the Cavs are trying to do. They want coaches on their staff, and they want the organization to be supportive and be able to develop these young players when you finally make your roster younger, which it is now, with the additions of these 3 new draft picks. So definitely a fan of the hire. So going right into it, we got some players that the Cavs picked up here at draft night. I thought they actually had a really good draft night. So with the 5th pick, we don't trade at all.
We didn't love it. I love the pick. I didn't love that we fell to the 5th pick. The new lottery system kind of screwed us, putting bid market teams in the top 3? Top 4? Three of the top 4 teams, top lottery picks were bid market teams. LA, Memphis, and New York.
Yeah.
So they kind of screwed Cleveland a little bit there. I think only one of the top 3 teams that had the best odds to win the number 1 pick got inside the top 4.
Yeah, it was a total crap shoot on the new lottery system. I didn't like it at all.
But with the pick that we did have, the 5th pick, I think we hit the money. We picked up Darius Garland, a point guard out of Vanderbilt. He didn't play many games over for them because he tore his Achilles.
He had a bad injury.
5 games into the season. But the kid is talented. If he can come back from his injury and be anything like he was, I think we had a good pick there. Unlike last year, people aren't like to remember this. We went over skill and talent over kind of like the hustle and character. I'm not saying he has bad character, but his talent and skill are above whatever he's displayed.
Okay, so you're gonna go right at Sexton here, and I'm fine with it. But the only player that actually really outperformed Sexton, and it was taken after Sexton, was Gilgeous-Alexander, who was awesome. I thought had all the talent and ability to be where the Cavs should have picked. You have big time point guard, great ball handling ability, good pace, finish around the rim,
natural,
good defender, and just a natural basketball player. So I don't think that Sexton has that natural basketball ability. He definitely has some athletic ability, but he obviously has to work a little bit harder because he doesn't have that natural.
And he's been shown that he's willing to do that. You saw during the season he's putting all this work in the offseason, and coaches and the trainers on the Cavs staff just waves about his work ethic and how if he had a bad shooting night, he put in that extra work. I mean, I thought that the Cavs made a little bit more news than it is, because I think most NBA players, at least the younger ones or ones that truly want to get better, do that on a night basis during the season.
Let's have some context here, though. Let's have some context, because the Cavs were in a very difficult position going into the season this past year. So you lose LeBron, and then Kevin Love goes down early, which is not what you were hoping to have happen. Obviously, you never planned for these type of injuries to your best player.
And you never found rhythm throughout the entire year, pretty much.
Well,
except for the last
Kevin was out for 65 games. He was out for a long time. And
57?
Yeah, a lot of games. And your offense and your team got turned over 3 or 4 times with the trades, and you never really had a good mentor for Sexton. That's a big part of it. But you also asked a lot of him during his rookie year. So the first half he was horrendous, and he was very very easy to criticize. The second half he put a lot of work in. Kevin Love came back. They mixed up the lineups. They ended up putting Larry Nance into more lineups with Sexton, which actually really helped, because Nance was doing a very nice job passing out of the top of the elbows there.
And he's good at setting screens and kind of rolling and playing off Sexton in that kind of high pick and roll, or the two-man pick and roll game up top, which the Cavs offense was centered around.
Yeah, so they needed a guy to pass the field. They needed to put some passes around Sexton, because he's not a great passer.
He's not a natural passer.
He's not a natural
He needs
fit.
to learn how to do it.
He's not a natural fit at the point guard. He's really a shooting guard. Everyone, I think, in Cleveland is kind of on board at this point.
He's a tweener.
At saying Sexton is a shooting guard. But he's
Which
not,
is why we picked up Darius Garland.
Yes,
natural scorer, a natural fluid ball handler and passer. He can create for himself, and with that space, he can create for others too. I think that's what Kobe Altman and kind of the rest of the front office was kind of thinking there.
Yeah, I really like the pick. I think it's a smart one. I think you go get the best player on the board, which is what you have to do when you're in a rebuild. You don't have time to mess around and go, oh, well, we got to get this player, get that player. I mean, ultimately, what we know is that Sexton is more than likely going to be an off-the-bench player once the Cavs roster gets good. Okay, so don't kill me on this one.
He's a starter right now.
He's a starter right now.
We're not
going to put him on the bench right now. But when the Cavs roster gets upgraded in talent, he is and will be a backup point guard or shooting guard.
Well, we're kind of stuck in a cap situation this year. But after this year, we have a lot of cap freeing up. Was it $67 million roughly?
Yeah, it's a ton
of 2020. And I think there's a few bid free agents. I can't think of any few off the top of my head right now. But I think that's what the front office has been kind of gearing towards and kind of shifting the contracts towards, because they picked up we don't have any more, but picked up the Jordan Taylor contract. They picked up Brandon Knight. Jetty expires after this year, I believe. So does
Henson,
and so does Tristan Thompson.
Right.
And Tristan Thompson has
and
14 years. And Dellavedova.
So you have all these expiring contracts. You're basically had the opportunity to turn over the whole 2/3 of your roster.
Sign a max, build a few role players on.
At this point, right now, as the Cavs roster stands, you're only going to have 7 players going into next year under contract. You're going to have the 3 rookies, Garland, Windler,
Dylan Windler, and then Kevin Porter Jr.
Right, and then you have your guys that are currently on the Cavs roster: Kevin Love, Larry Nance, Sexton, and Ante Zizic. So there's your 7.
Still have Ante on the contract?
There's your 7 guys. Everyone else is gone after this year, unless you decide to re-sign them or
No, Waba's a restricted free agent right now, isn't he? We need to re-sign him.
But if the season started today, like going in next year, you only have 7 guys under contract. So it means you have to add 8 players to your roster.
Or sign a few.
Well, so here's the thing: you're gonna probably add a couple more players next year in the draft, and then you're hoping you can overpay a free agent to really beef up the roster.
Yeah.
Or if the Cavs surprise you mid-season, you could get rid of a couple of those expiring contracts to a bad team, and then look to make a move
make a
playoff push, for a 6 or 5 or 6 seed if you're really that good. But the chances are they're not going to be that good.
I think it could be. I think we just have to stay healthy, and that's a big if, especially with Kevin Love's history. Darius Garland, we haven't talked about Kevin Porter Jr., but he just came. Was he the one that had the Achilles injury?
No, Kevin Porter Jr. had problems with with the coaching staff.
Well, he had
That's
that,
why
but he
he
also
dropped down.
he had a meniscus tear, I think. Yeah.
Kevin Porter? I
Yeah.
don't know. His red flags were
I know
all,
it's
all personnel stuff. So, okay, kind of going back to the draft here a little bit. Garland, love the pick. You take Windler at 26, even though Porter Jr. was still on the board.
Windler's nice.
I like Windler. I like Windler a lot.
That guy can shoot. He dropped 35 points on Maryland in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
Which
7
is
threes.
nice. I watched the full highlights on that. I really enjoyed watching him shoot in that game.
He moves nice. He moves without the ball. He rebounds. I think he's 6'9", 6'8".
He's a big boy.
He's a small
He
forward.
rebounds exceptionally well at the small forward position too.
Part of that is because he moves so well.
Yeah.
He just moves into the position and finds
Perfect
space.
fit for John Beilein's motion offense that is designed for shooters. Absolutely perfect.
Space and space.
I'm gonna love watching Kevin Love with Windler in a lineup this year. It's gonna be so much fun.
He shot 42% from downtown, I think, over the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, he's a straight baller.
Made
and he's a left-handed guy. We picked up a couple left-handed shooters this time. I kind of like it.
Kevin Porter Jr. is a lefty too. He
like
only played a few games too. I think he only played 12, but he shot 41% downtown too.
It's so awesome. I'm such a fan.
Darius Garland shot, I think, 47.5. I mean, granted, he only played 5 games. That's why it's so high. But I thought if he played a full season or near full season, he could maybe average 37 to 39%.
Rich Paul.
He's a very good shooter.
Of what's the name of their organization? Rich Paul's thing? Clutch Sports? Clutch Sports. Yeah, he said that a certain Clutch Sports player is a big fan of Darius Garland, hinting at LeBron James, obviously. So LeBron was a big fan of Garland.
You know who LeBron was also a fan of? Shabazz Napier.
Yeah, that's good context there, Tim. That's really good context.
Norris Cole? Was that one too?
Yeah, Norris Cole was garbage too. But
anyways, I do like Dylan Windler. Actually, I almost forgot to mention, but I was telling you, I think the day after, I think Dylan Windler is just a better in shape, more in shape Joe Ingles. He kind of has that kind of speed and kind of pace to him. He has an IQ where he kind of knows what he's doing, and he's a knockdown shooter. I think he's a little faster, a little bit more in shape. Hasn't ate as many donuts or whatever as Joe Ingles.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It's a great comparison because he is that strappy shooter, and he does move very well, like Joe Ingles does. You notice the one thing I really noticed about Windler is good shooters do a good job of setting their feet prior to getting the ball, and then even when they get the ball, they have a good job of lining themselves up. And you notice that with good shooters versus the guys who had just maybe had like an outlier season.
Right. Yeah. He has a value to a shot.
Yeah.
It's gonna be consistent. His shooting mechanics are fundamentally sound.
I really like it,
and it's here to stay.
Yeah,
long term.
So you add shooting, which the Cavs desperately needed last year. They could not hit threes, and they filled that hole pretty quickly.
Then you add a little bit of potential. We got Kevin Porter Jr. at 30.
That's my favorite pick.
Sniped him.
It's my favorite pick. I think Kevin Porter Jr. has all the potential to be like a Kyle Kuzma of this draft. Like he has high potential. Like Kyle Kuzma got picked late too. But I'm saying that I'm not saying he's a Kyle Kuzma type. I'm saying
25th.
He has an opportunity to be a diamond in the rough type of player. Basically, the deal with Porter Jr. is he didn't get along well with his coach. Now in college, coaches only have so much leverage with players. You can't fine them because you're not paying them. Duh. So the best thing you can do, and pretty much the only thing you do, is send their butt to the bench. So in college, Porter Jr. had games where he just wouldn't even play because the coach wouldn't play him. And then he had games where he dropped 20 in like 10 minutes. Like, that's just who he was because he didn't get the minutes that he probably deserved to his play style. So they said there was the coach issues with the coach. There was a little bit of issues with practice habits. Injury. So practice habits basically means, hey, we're not maybe going as hard as we want in practice. We're not maybe showing up on time in practice. That kind of stuff. So practice habits was another thing. And then they just they didn't really release what it was. Like some players, what the problem is. Like, I'm not saying this is basketball, but like in college, we knew that James Winston stole some lobsters. We never heard what really happened. Just small murmurings of why Kevin Porter Jr. dropped. But when he did make plays, the overall take on him is that he made NBA type moves when he was scoring, and he could score in bunches.
He has all-star potential. That's what it is.
I think so.
His ceiling is high.
It's super high.
It all depends. It depends on a lot of things, but it's up to him to put in the work. It's up to the player development and John Beilein to give him the tools and kind of give him the confidence and freedom to expand his game and feel confident in his development. And then it's up to the veterans to also kind of lead him the way and kind of show him what it takes to be a professional.
This is the either you're gonna show up or you're not type of situation. It's not college anymore because you're gonna get paid now. This is your job. This is your livelihood. If you put the work in, you're gonna see the rewards.
We've seen that over the last couple of years.
There's tons of money to be made, and he's still a first round player, so he's got guaranteed money. He wasn't a second round pick. The Cavs did pay a record $5 million for the pick, and they also gave up 4 second round picks to get him.
Well, 4 if the fourth second round pick lands between 55 and
it's a protected
60.
pick.
So I think that's 2022, I think.
That's fine.
I'm not sure.
Whatever. Second round picks.
That fourth one's only if it's in that little.
That's what you get second round picks for. That's why Kobe Altman amassed all these second round picks, because you're going to use them for a situation like when Porter Jr. pops up and says, "I'll take a flyer on this guy." Like this is a low risk, high reward situation,
and that's what you do at the end of the first round.
Absolutely. Now, some people wanted Bull really badly. He didn't get picked
I was one of those players.
47th.
I was one of those people.
47th. He got picked up by the Nuggets, obviously, because the Nuggets understand development really well, and they also take flyers on injured players like Michael Porter Jr.
And Bull Ball is also injury prone.
Yeah,
well, his lanky, tall frame.
But he doesn't weigh anything. He's like 210 pounds.
215.
He's
it's nothing.
He's not a big boy.
I think he has a high potential, but I think why a lot of people pass on him is his work ethic. He's been known to be lazy.
It's his medicals, dude. No, it's his medicals.
He has that lazy label on him.
No, I think it's his medicals, dude.
Okay.
You don't drop from like a top 15, top 20 pick.
It's both.
To 47.
Lazy? Yeah, laziness. It's both. Yeah.
Man, I think Bobo's ultra skilled. His offensive game is very polished. His defensive game still needs work.
It's his work ethic. That's why I dropped.
I don't think it's work ethic. I think it's medicals,
Teams are unsure about the work ethic. In the NBA, you need to have a strong work ethic to succeed or become that, to fulfill that also potential. And if he doesn't have it, if it's just mediocre, then he's not going to go anywhere. He's going to be a thorn maker and just kind of fall through the cracks.
That's a good comparison, because Thon Maker could be a really, really good player, but I don't know if he's ever going to make the leap.
I don't think he has the mentality of that. I don't think his basketball IQ is there. He has that what we call, between me and you, the Deion Waiters syndrome.
Deion Waiters' brain.
Yeah.
Not quite there.
Reggie Davis, Deion Waiters, Andrew Wiggins, and the list goes on.
Just guys who just don't have the mentality.
Who has all the talent ever, just don't figure it out because it's the mentality, just the stuff between the ears just doesn't click.
Right, I'm with you there. I get it. So, the Cavs, I think, did a really nice job in the draft. I'm actually very happy with it. And you know why I think the Cavs did a good job in the draft?
Why's that?
Because Dan Gilbert was not involved. He was busy recovering from a stroke, which we hope he gets better. Because, you don't want to wish ill on people, especially sickness and strokes and stuff. That's awful. But he wasn't involved in the draft process, so that's pretty good. Because it went really smoothly from what all accounts are.
Yeah, I think I was surprised by Kobe Altman. Actually, I would have been surprised if it was Kobe Altman, but I watched an interview where Kobe Altman basically said he just basically held John Beilein's hand the entire time and just asked him to point out players and which one he want. That's basically what I got from him. He's like,
oh, really?
No, John's really good. He's a really good eye for talent, and he just kind of just pointed me in the direction of what he was trying to do, and we just went with it. And so, the 3 draft picks we have, you can thank John Beilein.
Okay, I'll say this about Kobe. I think Kobe was not ready for the job, and I think he's grown into it since getting the job. I think his first trade will be the worst of his career, hands down.
Worst of the franchise.
Yeah, with the Kyrie trade. But I think since then, he's gotten a lot of trades very right. He's done a very nice job since then.
He got 7 draft picks this past year.
Yeah, he did a really nice job
Two
of
firsts
flipping
and
assets, and they did a nice job of picking up expiring contracts to help clear the balance sheet. You don't have any Antoine Jamesons on this roster that are killing your ability to rebuild. That's a nice thing.
Yeah, you picked up expiring contracts for draft picks, and now unload and hopefully pick up a Mats in 2020.
I think Cavs are really trying to run a 3-year plan. Like that's what it looks like. Like be bad last year, get a high draft pick. Be bad this year, get a high draft pick. Be good next year, make the playoffs. That seems to be the plan.
And the rookies and young players would go into the playoff experience.
Absolutely.
And figure it out then.
Yeah, I think so. So that's going to wrap up our Cavs section of it. Let's kind of jump over to the Browns a little bit. So the Browns, nothing's really happening. We're in that weird period where we're waiting for a training camp to start, and the only news that happens is what players say on social media and what really smart people say on social media who are reporters and are trying to cook up stories.
You guys missed that, but Mike did air quotes with reporters.
Yeah, I'm not saying. There's a reporter out there. His name rhymes with phony Hosi, I guess. He just likes to cook up stuff. But not to trash anybody, but there's the guys out there who just aren't that great. So OBJ has been on a little bit of a social media streak. He's been tweeting his face off, and he said he was going to go dark, and then appeared
and he didn't
in like a day. So, Tim, what are your thoughts on the OBJ back from the dark so quick?
I think he has the same mentality as Baker Mayfield. If he sees something that he doesn't agree with, or that he knows to be false and is straight slander towards him or his teammates or something about the organization, he's going to speak up about it and put in his 2 cents. And essentially what he did is a fan, or I think it might have been Colin Howard again. That seems to be Baker's and OBJ's go-to analyst to respond to. But basically what happened was a bunch of people jumped on this slandering him about his whole situation and how he handled it with the Giants and how like the Giants are better off without him.
Well, he did the whole Complex interview where he talked about like British fashion, a couple other things, and he basically said that in New York he wasn't going to be able to fulfill his full potential, and then of course half the internet was like, "No, it was your fault, OBJ," and then he was like, "Yeah, right," and tweeted back at like 13 people, and like kept tweeting about like how like
he's been consistent with his stand. Stuff. He keeps on repeating, "I'm not okay with losing. I want to wear a gold jacket, and I want to win."
Yeah, and I want
to win a championship.
I'm cool with all three of those things. I like those three. What I think is different with OBJ is he has one of the biggest brands in the NFL, and when it comes to how he handles himself online, it seems like he gets bothered by the noise a little bit more than Baker. Like, Baker seems like he does it for fun. OBJ seems to do it because he's actually annoyed. I mean, we make all this money, you have all these things happening, you're one of the best football players in the league. Like, what else is there to do, like, or to look at besides sitting there on social media and see what people are saying about you? And then as soon as people start barking at him, he's like, "Listen, like, let me set the record straight here." And he comes off a little too, like, immature with it. I would like him to just let some of that stuff fly.
I think you can compare some of that to there's two ways. There's two different ways you can swing. You can swing it a negative way. You can compare it to the whole Kevin Durant situation where he's just letting his haters and his doubters get the best of him and creep inside his head. Or you can say it's kind of like that LeBron mentality where every once in a while he'll speak out, he'll say what's on his mind, and he, he's composed and he has his head on straight.
For me, it's somewhere in the middle. I think he's a little further to the Kevin Durant side right now.
I think Baker's in the middle.
But what I think right now is happening with OBJ is we're just in that weird waiting period where he's not playing football. So everything we're doing right now on social media is just speculation. So we can't judge anything with actual performance until we get real football. So it's going to be till August till we actually can say stuff about OBJ in actual facts about football.
In uniform, on the field.
Once the Browns take the field, they start playing with the ability that we think they are going to. all this kind of noise will kind of slide away, and you'll let the facts speak for themselves. And OBJ's interviews will be different, and his social media will be different.
His
right
mentality
now,
will be different too.
Right now, he's just bothered because it's a big life transition for him, and he just has a lot of critics out there because of how massive his brand is. So, for me, I just like him to just tone it down just a little bit and just be a little more tactful. Him and Baker need to hang out, and he needs to hand Baker his phone a couple times and let him go at it.
That's a good point. I think also you have to look at the fact that he's adjusting from the New York lifestyle and the media. That even if you'd say these things, they kind of just get hidden under houses or under bridges, or whatever, and just kind of get or whatever flown over your head, airplane mode. But this is he's in Cleveland, and not a lot happens in Cleveland, and now he's the star in Cleveland along with Baker, Lindor, whatever, Kevin Love. He's a top 3 in there in Cleveland. He's experiencing all that media, all the attention from the fans, from the local reporters, and then that kind of just drags on and kind of like domino effects throughout all the other I guess you can say the football fandom.
Well, here's the other thing too: is nationally, Cleveland doesn't have the same kind of love that we Clevelanders think it deserves. So he's experiencing a whole second set of criticism because he's going to a market like Cleveland. So are you really okay to go to Cleveland? Are you gonna be okay, OBJ? Are you gonna be all right in Cleveland because it's smaller than New York? Can you handle the smallness of Cleveland versus New York? And that's what he's getting. He's getting some of that, and he's getting the New York fans, which are a bunch of haters at this point. They're like, we don't need you anyways. It was all your fault. It wasn't Eli's fault. Eli wasn't a broken arm quarterback.
Yeah, they're in the stage of denial.
Denial stage.
Yeah, definitely.
They'll want him back mid-season or game 2. Whatever. But honestly,
they'll get to acceptance eventually.
We'll stop worrying about what OBJ is tweeting once we get some real football. So, but at this point, no news. So we're kind of hanging on every word that OBJ is out there tweeting about. So, moving on. Not a lot of stuff going on in the football section. So we're going to talk about the Indians now. So Indians, they look like they're about to fall off the face of the earth and just tumble down into oblivion
for the first 50 games of the season,
and that all of Cleveland was going to abandon them and never watch another Indians game.
For the first third of the season, yeah.
Yeah, it looked really, 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 really bad. But recently, they've been really hot. They've been real hot. And they got the bats going, and we're actually starting to win games that we should win.
That's the main thing. That's the main difference. Our pitching's still been good. It has been for most of the year. I mean, we've dealt through injuries, but
those some real injuries.
The big problem is the bats. We haven't been letting them going.
Well, you look at how well the pitching is done, stepping in with the injuries. You have Plesac, and you have Bieber, and you have you had Clevenger pitching really well until he got injured. But look at the big injuries you've had. You have Clevenger, Carrasco, and Kluber. Your top 3 guys, 3 of your top 4 guys have been injured. And then Bauer's had a down year so far. And you look at them going, man, and they're still in the race right now. They're 8 games out of the division, and they're in the wild card if it ended today, which is impressive considering what the outlook looked like a month ago.
And how bad they've been.
Yeah, so you get Mercado called up, thank God, and he's been playing his butt off. I mean, the guy's batting. What is he batting? 320?
310.
Yeah, he's having a great year so far. He's settled in
310, 4 home runs and 50 RBIs.
Yeah, they just moved him to center field. Love that. And they just called up Bobby Bradley on Saturday, Sunday. Very recently, they called up Bobby Bradley, and I love it. Sunday. And he started off.
That's Detroit
with a double, with the ground roll double.
First major league hit.
Awesome, love it. So the Indians are undefeated when Bobby Bradley plays, which is awesome, and they're looking much better. So if we get some momentum going into the All-Star break, and we can close out these few games before we get there, we will be in a good position second half of the year to make a little playoff run. Now I don't know if they're going to actually be able to cause any damage in the playoffs. I think you have to add another bat at least, and I think you have to get 2 of those 3 pitchers healthy. So you have to either get back Mike Clevenger and
he'll be back soon,
and Carrasco healthy, or you have to get Clev and Kluber back healthy.
Yeah, Clevenger re-injured that's his sprained ankle his first game back, but I think that there's being safe with him Keep him out a couple
He's
weeks.
supposed to be back on Friday.
Yeah, keep him out a couple weeks
he's projected to start Friday.
Until he's 100%. That's
so
fine.
not too long here. So that'll be good to get Clem back. I think he's been a really good pitcher for the Indians. He'd be a number 2 guy in most places, and he's like our number 4 guy.
Speaking of number 2 guys, before we get into that, to wrap up how hot the Indians have been, they are 13-5 in the last 18 games and 8-2 in the last 10,
which is fantastic.
So as you know, baseball is kind of weird. So let's hope the Indians can stay hot.
Yeah, if you can stay hot, and then use the momentum of the All-Star weekend being here, I think you can make a run. So you have to figure out what you're gonna do with getting a little bit more hitting, and you're gonna have to probably make a move. I think at this point we're not gonna be sellers at the trade deadline now. We're probably gonna be buyers if you're gonna make a move.
If our bats stay hot, if our offense is to continue its run over the last few games here.
If Bobby Bradley can come in and play very well, I think you're going to be in a good position.
I'd probably say we didn't average more than 4 runs a game for the first 45, 50 games, but over the past 18, we've averaged 5.9 runs a game and 6.6 over the last 10 games.
And we're finally positive in run differential. We're plus 23 in run differential.
It only took 65 games.
Yeah, which is really sad because at this time the Twins are at 105.
67, my bad.
On the run differential.
77, my fault. Yeah, it only took 77 games.
Yeah, it's only taking a little bit. No, not too long. All right, so this is going to bring us to our last segment here, which is going to be our buy or sell, which is our weekly segment we're going to do now.
Actually, we have 2.
We have 2?
Yeah. We have This Week in Cleveland, where we discuss the main bullet points, so basically a summary of what we just did. And then, the new buy or sell. Where you buying? The statements we have, are you buying it or are you selling it? You want to start us off? We're starting with the Chaz, I think.
Okay, so buy or sell. Kevin Porter Jr. will be the next James Harden.
Through his knack, his athletic ability and his knack for creating off the dribble and with a lethal step back, he's drawn comparisons to James Harden. And saying that he has potential to kind of morph into the player that James Harden became. I don't think he's going to be a player. He is a strong isolation player. Actually, an NBA top skills trainer, Chris Buckley, said he's the biggest sleeper in the draft. But it's really hard to predict, and that's James Harden. I think his game is more comparison to Kelly Olynyk. It's kind of same.
Like Kelly Oubre?
You got that in my head. Kelly Oubre from over in Phoenix. I think he has a similar style, similar movement, and kind of similar frame and body type. But he has potential to be a star. I just don't think superstar is that ceiling.
I'm going to sell that as well because I think the comparison's interesting. When he has scored, he does show flashes of what James Harden kind of looks like. But you got to remember, James Harden is now an MVP, and he's been an absolute monster.
He's so refined. He's so efficient. For Kevin Porter Jr. to be anywhere close to James Harden, he needs to become
early,
so much more polished.
He could be early Thunder James Harden.
Yeah,
that's a real possibility.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it all shakes out. But we're gonna both sell that one. Number 2.
And he dunked like, I think you bought this up. He dunks like Jaylen Brown.
He dunks kind of like Jaylen Brown.
He's aggressive.
He's an aggressive dunker. It's gonna be very fun to watch him make some dunks on the this Cavs season.
Catching lobs from Darius Garland.
He's gonna play in the summer league, unlike Garland. So him and Windler will play in the summer league.
Yeah, Garland keeping him out just for health concerns, just to be safe. And then Garland and Porter Jr. will play. I think Sexton playing too.
You're right.
I'd imagine.
You're wrong. You said Garland.
Oh, Kevin Porter and Windler.
Yes.
Are playing.
Thank you.
Garland is sitting out.
Okay, so number 2, the Browns. Are you buying or selling Rashard Higgins will be a Pro Bowler?
I'm gonna sell that one. I think he has a talent to do it. Maybe on a less skilled offensive team, a less high powered offense, he could be. But with all the weapons we have, we still have Duke, Chubb, Kareem Hunt after 8 games, Njoku, OBJ, Juice, Antonio Callaway, who's been under the radar with all these weapons. I think with Freddie Kitchens' offense and how Baker's going to spread out the ball, I just don't think he's going to have the numbers to reach a Pro Bowl. But I think he could do it in a different system on a different team. So I'm going to sell that.
I'm going to buy that. You hear that? You hear that, Rashard? I'm buying that.
And we're one game focused. But go on.
I'm going to buy that. I think he is really the Browns' number 2 receiver, and that Juice is our number 3 receiver. I think Higgins has undeniable chemistry with Baker Mayfield. His 71% catch percentage last year was out of this world.
The second in the league?
It's super high. It's crazy high. So Baker and him are absolutely on the same page. He loves catching balls from Baker. He knows exactly where it's going to be.
He gets open.
And he creates passing windows super well. So I'm going to buy it because I know Baker, when in trouble, is going to look for Rashard Higgins, and he's going to get big-time opportunity because there is so much focus on OBJ and Juice that you're going to see Higgins flying open, and he's going to make big-time plays. I'm going to say absolutely Pro Bowl.
Well, he has all the intangibles. He gets open very well in zone, and his catch radius in man-to-man is underrated. And as you saw a few times throughout the year, several times throughout the year, he has extremely underrated footwork. And his ability to come down with 2 feet on basically anyone on the field is something that has been overlooked and will be overlooked until people start noticing him. But we're noticing him now.
Yeah, he's a big time weapon for the Browns, and I think he's an underlooked player, like you said. And national media is gonna have to look out for him because he will have
the Browns are gonna be on national media. They have 4 primetime games this year?
Yeah, and we're gonna flex that 5th game. You know we're about to flex in that 5th game.
It's gonna happen.
It's happening.
It's optional, but we know optional end quotes means it's gonna happen.
We know that the New England game is gonna get flexed in. We all just know it. They just can't do it right away because they can't give us 5 games after we missed the playoffs last year.
And the last little bit on Higgins, I think he was overshadowed last year because he was injured for a lot of it. He did some rhythm, and he get injured. And he did some rhythm with Baker, and he explode, and have like a 120-yard game, and then he turned an ankle.
Yeah.
So if he didn't stay healthy here, and then let him explode and have a big year, I think what you said on buying on him being Pro Bowl is a very realistic possibility. I just think within the offense, within the scheme, one-oriented offense, I just don't think he's going to do the touches, the numbers to do it.
And you know when you're working in a room with guys like OBJ and Juice, you're only going to get better, and you're going to feed off the energy they're doing and the energy.
The ethic, the work ethic. You saw how that changed with.
You're going to pick up those little. You're going to pick up those little things that OBJ and Juice are doing too. You don't get to be around that every day and just not pick up anything. He's going to add to his game from being in the same wide receiver room with those guys.
The elite little things that like I said that made that elite whatever player, in this case wide receiver, that OBJ does so well or Jarvis does so well. And maybe it's on a daily basis that probably on a daily basis that's how that elite still forms. So I agree. Being around them is only going to be better. You don't get worse around Tom Brady. If anything, you say neutral. But most of the time, you're going to lift it up because just overall, I said that elite talent, that elite work ethic.
That's why the Patriots can sell their backup quarterbacks for first-round picks every year.
Every year. You remember when Matt Flynn got like that $80 million contract?
Holy crap.
And then they waived him after a season until they realized he was trash.
Yeah.
He wasn't the next Aaron Rodgers behind Brett Favre.
Yeah, what a ridiculous contract that guy got. From one game. He had one big game.
One game.
He made himself a lifetime of money.
Oh, no, that was behind Aaron Rodgers. Matt Flynn, what?
That's what I'm saying, yeah, he was.
I thought we were talking about Tom Brady stuff. Okay. And the last buy or sell is with the Indians. Buy or sell, will the Indians trade Trevor Bauer before the July 31st trade deadline?
I'm going to say no, okay? So I say no because at this point, with the Indians being hot, they're going to be buyers at this point. So they're not trying to like sell off a big prospect, a big player like Bauer, because they're going to make a push. The only way you trade Bauer is if you get back a package of Clint Frazier.
You get back a huge offensive.
Well, no, because you get back Clint Frazier and a couple other players from the Yankees, and I'd be happy. But you have to know that you're going to get Carrasco back, and you have to know that you're going to get Kluber back healthy at some point here, where they can
He's supposed to
push
be out
them in
until
the
at
postseason.
least mid-August at this point.
But we don't need more pitching. What's cost us in the last 2 years of the playoffs? Hitting. We haven't had the hitting. So if you add another hitter like Clint Frazier, you're going to be in a good spot. So I'm going to sell it. I'm going to sell it, but I think there's a real possibility it could still happen. I just think the possibility of the Indians holding on to Bauer and waiting until next season to trade him is more likely. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna buy it. I think we done did Kluber back earlier than expected. I'm confident, or I'm crossing my fingers and hope that Clevenger can stay healthy, and our pitching with Bieber and stays consistent, and Bowers starts to do a little bit of rhythm here, and just trade in for some bats. I think like someone like Clint Frazier or someone to take the load off of Ramirez and Lindor, to really benefit and like you said, make that playoff push. So I'm gonna buy it.
All right. I can see your
We
point
have two
there.
aces. If Kluber is healthy, he's not gonna get no one's gonna start over him on any given team, on basically any given team. No matter how good Trevor Bauer is, but he's openly, publicly competed against Kluber as a better pitcher.
Yeah, and he was a Cy Young candidate last year, and Bauer had an amazing year last year.
We've had great pitching.
He'll get some rhythm here going into the second half of the season, I think. So,
but there needs to be some balance.
When you see more hitting, you win with hitting. I think we have enough pitching.
I don't know if Mercado is gonna stay hot either. He's not nasty, but
he looks poised and he looks like he fits in.
Okay, I like him a lot, but
baseball's
like, so weird.
He played
I don't want
200 games in the minors. Dude.
I don't want to give my hopes up.
Like 240. He played like 240 games in the minors. The guy is more than ready to be here in the big leagues. I'm fine with Mercado. He's gonna be fine. Stop hating on my boy.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna say I don't believe in Jose. Jose Ramirez.
Yeah, we all don't believe in Jose Ramirez at this point. That's fine. You can take that because Jose Ramirez has been
actually I'd take
garbage.
that buy if the buy was
trading Ramirez.
Ramirez. I'd say that
the Indians organization doesn't believe that he's not good. The fans believe that he's actually not good.
I think I've said this a few times, but I've compared them to Kyle Lowry in the playoffs.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll just wait to see how things shake out.
But
if you start getting all these hitters around Ramirez and he still doesn't wake the heck up, then you know you have a problem, or you know you have a depreciating asset.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
But on a flip note, hot woman story, Kyle Lowry overcame the odds. I'm doing air quotes, and got his championship.
Yeah, he did.
Which means Kawhi Leonard carried him on his back.
And Van Fleet had the big moment in Game 7.
Yep, yeah, he did.
Yeah, not Kyle.
I would continue to say he should have started over Kyle Lowry all year.
That's fine. I'm for it. All right, guys, we're just going to wrap things up on this episode. We're super happy to be back. We do have to let you know there's that contest going on for our tickets. We're giving out some tickets. We got preseason tickets to the Lions, preseason tickets to the Redskins, and then we're giving away a jersey. So don't freaking miss it. Jump on our social media pages.
It's a big ticket.
It's a big-time ticket.
Big ticket item.
Look out for it on our social media pages. Make sure that you share our page. Let people know what's going on. We're going to cover the Cleveland sports like no other place is covering Cleveland sports. And we're going to give you the content you're actually looking for. Not this regurgitated crap that you're going to see about the same story that ESPN posted 5 minutes ago. That's just not going to happen. We're going to look for the stuff that matters. We're going to get the stuff that you guys want to talk about, and we're going to be active and on there when you guys want to have discussions. So we appreciate everyone who's follows the podcast, everyone who's on social media, and we're excited for what this next these next few months are going to bring here in Cleveland sports.
Do you have a handle? No,
I don't have a handle right now.
Okay, all right. I don't have a handle either.
Well, thanks so much for listening to the podcast. We super appreciate it, guys. And my name is Mike.
My name is Tim.
And as always, in Cleveland, everything is earned. We'll talk to you soon.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.